Dire Straits were a British rock band that dominated the 1980s with songs like Sultans of Swing, Romeo and Juliet, Money for Nothing, and Brothers in Arms. Mark Knopfler was the band's lead singer and renowned guitarist. He had the prose of a novelist in his songwriting and the deft touch of a storyteller on guitar, and guided the group with such unassuming conviction that nobody noticed he was their driving force. Mark Knopfler, now in his 70s, keeps going strong. He records, composes film scores, and makes appearances when the timing is perfect, always with the same unhurried, unassuming manner. Many of his contemporaries, however, have retired or faded into nostalgia-driven reunion tours. Being in the spotlight was never necessary for him. Truthful music is both what he required and what he has finally offered the world. But how does a quiet, unassuming man like him become one of the most significant artists of the 20th century? What is the secret behind the rise of a homeless Newcastle lad to the position of greatest guitarist of all time? Why does he keep saying no to a reunion that millions of others are still hoping for, even while they're in grave straits? Come with us as we delve into the life of Mark Knopfler, the man whose early stories remain one of the most memorable, even though he talked very little. Though he was born on August 12, 1949, in Glasgow, Scotland, Mark Knopfler's family moved to Newcastle, Northern England, not long after. A change in geography wasn't the only thing that happened. As a result, young Mark entered a world where competing cultural norms and an enduring feeling of alienation would define his formative years. Knopfler Sr. was an architect from Hungary who had escaped fascism and sought sanctuary in England during World War II. Louisa Mary, his mother, was a teacher in England. Instead than talking about football or television like the other kids his age, Mark grew up in a home where people were quite intellectual and the focus was on literature, history, and ideas. Mark never felt like he belonged anywhere, what with his mixed heritage as a refugee and his upbringing among the working-class English. He preferred to sit on the sidelines and watch rather than get involved. Looking back, he would characterize himself as someone who was never truly welcomed, who was always on the periphery, and who went unrecognized. However, it was at that very edge location that a new dimension, the dimension of sound, was revealed. Knopfler listened enthralled to the radio broadcasts by his family from the time he was a little boy. His heart belonged to B.B. King's unvarnished blues. King, the languid, introspective lyrics of Chet Atkins, and the rustic, American country sound, genres that were foreign to post-war Britain. Though they communicated in a way that Mark grasped on an innate level. Nobody in his impoverished family saw him having a career in the arts. But love doesn't wait for approval. Mark purchased his first electric guitar, a Hefner Super Solid, with the savings he had amassed at the age of 15. He learned to play on his own,